Hello everyone, today we talk about last news from education world, from European Higher Education Organization, 5 news, and let's go. First news, it's graduate jobs back home can curb far-right higher education threat. Seeing all the LinkedIn posts from the 2024 European Association for International Education conference in Toulouse, France, it's clear that Europe is optimistic about future internationalization. Reasons for optimism. More importantly, Europe has plenty of reasons to be optimistic about its future in internationalization, especially as major English-speaking study destinations face increasing challenges in attracting international students. For example, Germany, with its affordable and high-quality education system, has been one of the primary beneficiaries. From 2020, 21 to 2022-23, Germany saw a 10% increase in international students, and over the past decade, that number has surged by 52%. Similarly, France attracted more than 412,000 international students in 2022-23, making up 14% of its students' population, with a 3% increase in the past year alone. Spain and Sweden have seen high growth rates too, up around 8% and 4% respectively in 2023, while the Netherlands has witnessed an extraordinary 30% rise in international student numbers. Across Europe, the rise of populist and far-right political parties poses a growing threat to efforts aimed at expanding international education. A survey of 489 higher education institutions across 56 European higher education systems, and despite political pressures, internationalization and global outreach remain top priorities for these institutions. 80% of European universities now have strategies to attract more international students, with 77% expecting further increases in the coming years. Africa and Europe unite to tackle food systems challenges. World Food Day, observed on 16 October, highlighted the critical need for action to ensure the right to food for a better life and a better future. The newly launched Africa-Europe Cluster for Research Excellence in Sustainable Food System is poised to play a key role in achieving this goal. The cluster, which is co-led by the University of Pretoria in South Africa and the University of Bologna in Italy, brings together 21 partners across two continents in a collaboration that aims to revolutionize research and education in sustainable food systems. This makes the Cluster of Research Excellence in Sustainable Food Systems Africa-Europe one of the largest clusters in the Africa-Europe Core Initiative, a joint project that the African Research Universities Alliance and the Guild of European Research Intensive Universities introduced last year to tackle acute social needs affecting both continents. The cluster's main ambition is to become the reference for collaborative research between Africa and Europe in the agricultural and food sectors. It will be pursuing this vision by fostering research excellence to answer sustainable food systems challenges and educating a new generation of scientists. It hopes to make an impact in three main areas: food, nutrition, and health, poverty reduction, sustainable livelihoods and jobs, and climate-smart agriculture. The cluster of research excellence in sustainable food systems initiatives horizon of 10 years, a long-term commitment for projects of this nature provides participants with stability and the opportunity to build strong, lasting collaborations. Distance degrees used to bypass visa barriers for Africans. Universities in Scotland, for example, recruiting students from Africa are offering a variety of distance degree programs as one way of encouraging their students from the continent, given increased restrictions on international students interested in studying in the United Kingdom. The institutions are advising African students to enroll in online programs as one way of beating the requirements on a dependence study visa in situations in which they are denied the document, noting that the option is also particularly good for women, working students, and those with young families. The option will guarantee them a quality degree from a reputable university and at a low cost. While the universities believe the Africans will miss the experience of studying in Scotland and they would prefer them to study in the territory and popular destination in the United Kingdom, they say the students will still have a quality degree upon successful completion of their distance study. Of the 2,800 African students who enroll in United Kingdom universities each year, at least 200 opt for a university in Scotland, according to representatives of Scottish universities exhibition in Nairobi. The option comes in the wake of rules preventing foreign students on sponsored study visas from bringing family members with to the United Kingdom. Another factor is the rising number of study visa rejections. According to Smith, Stone, Walters, the latest United Kingdom visa figures show a decline of 13% in sponsored study visas in the year ending June 2024, compared to the year before. The distance learning courses Scottish universities offer the better suited to people in full-time employment with family commitments or with a lack of financial resources to study on campus, said Jenny Hyde, Senior International Requirement Manager at Abertay University in Dundee, Scotland. Next news: universities need direction to avoid going bust. Experts say the new Labour administration is failing to give direction to British universities facing a financial crisis, as increases in international students that have kept institutions afloat shudder to a halt and higher tariff universities accept lower grade applicants, creating market instability for domestic students. After 7 years without a rise in domestic tuition fees and no certainty that the Labour government will end the freeze that has kept home fees at 9,250 pounds since 2017, a panel of top-level stakeholders considered what could happen if an English university were to run out of cash and faced financial failure. Higher education institutions were ill prepared for financial collapse from a legal perspective and urged the government to bring in special administration regimes for higher education to prepare for the likelihood of insolvency unless the financial gloom facing the sector was lifted. Damien Ashford, education lead and government and health industries restructuring leaders and PwC UK said, "We are talking about an institution not being able to meet their debts." He said the financial headwinds had been growing for a number of years as a result of the domestic fee cap and over-dependence on the higher tuition fees from the growth of international students. Several speakers, including Lister, suggested that a university going under in London might not be as bad as it would be for a regional institution that was the only higher education provider in its area and provided a lot of jobs. The collapse of that kind of institution would have a major impact on the supply chain, on housing and the local economy. In the last news, we talk about Russian government. Government announces packages to attract foreign students. The Russian government plans to accelerate the requirement to domestic universities of international students, including those from the West, by more than 40% over the next 5 years as part of a strategy aimed at expanding the country's global influence. In addition to students from the former Soviet states and Asia, the government hopes to attract students from Western countries and is ready to cover the cost of tuition for talented foreign students through a grant funding scheme instead of the current quota system. It's expected that the grants will be in the form of special packages, while their amount will be calculated on a case-by-case basis. The overall budget for the scheme, which will end in 2030, was not disclosed. In addition to such packages, the government will consider the expansion of the existing quota of state-funded places for foreign students, which is currently estimated at about 30,000 places. According to some sources, there is a possibility that the quota could be almost doubled. The government has also plans to establish special recruitment agencies that will help foreign students to enter Russian universities and to establish a special education environment in which foreign students will be offered courses to study in both English and Russian that promote typical values of Russia and its traditions. As part of state plans, the attraction of foreign students will be framed as a tool of its soft power policy and the formation of national elites in all the countries that are loyal to Russia. It's like a soft power.